Masonic Temple in Detroit is not only renowned for its stunning Gothic Revival architecture, but is also infamous for its ghostly tales and haunted history. Built in 1926, it is the largest Masonic temple in the world, with a complex design that includes numerous rooms, theaters, and corridors. This labyrinthine structure has given rise to many eerie stories over the years. One of the most well-known legends involves the building's architect, George D. Mason. According to local folklore, Mason faced severe financial difficulties during the construction of the temple and supposedly lost his entire fortune. Some stories claim that he committed suicide by jumping from one of the temple's towers, although there is no historical evidence to confirm this. Nevertheless, many visitors and staff members have reported sightings of a shadowy figure believed to be Mason's ghost wandering the upper floors. In addition to the architect's ghost, many have heard unexplained footsteps and doors opening and closing by themselves, especially at night, in deserted parts of the building. One particular room in the temple is notorious for paranormal activity. Visitors often describe an unexplainable chill and the sensation of being watched when entering this room. Another story involves the ghosts of construction workers who allegedly died during the temple's construction. Their spirits are said to appear as shadowy figures or faint whispers, echoing the hardships they endured. The temple's theaters are also rumored to be haunted. Actors and stage crew have reported seeing ghostly apparitions and hearing strange noises when no one else is present. Some have experienced the unnerving sensation of being watched while performing on stage. Whether these stories are true or merely urban legends, the haunted reputation of the Masonic Temple in Detroit adds an intriguing layer to its historical and architectural significance, drawing thrill seekers and paranormal enthusiasts from all over. The St. Augustine Lighthouse in Florida is famous for being one of the most haunted locations in the United States, steeped in history and eerie legends. Completed in 1874, the lighthouse has served as a vital navigational aid along the Florida coast. However, it's the ghostly tales that have captured the imagination of many. One of the most well-known stories involves the spirits of two young sisters, Eliza and Mary Pritchard. In the 1870s, while their father, Hezekiah Pritchard, was overseeing the lighthouse's construction, the sisters were playing in a construction cart that tragically broke loose, sending them plummeting into the ocean where they drowned. Ever since, visitors and staff have reported hearing children's laughter and seeing apparitions of the girls playing and peeking out from behind windows. Another spectral resident is believed to be Joseph Andreu, a former lighthouse keeper who died in the 1850s after falling from the original lighthouse while painting it. His ghost is said to haunt the lighthouse, with many visitors hearing phantom footsteps on the spiral staircase and catching glimpses of a figure at the top of the tower, as if Joseph continues to watch over the sea. Additionally, the apparition of a lady in white is often seen wandering the grounds, believed to be the spirit of a former keeper's wife searching for her lost love. The lighthouse's reputation for hauntings has drawn the attention of paranormal investigators, featuring on shows like Ghost Adventures and Ghost Hunters. These investigations have recorded unexplained voices, shadowy figures, and sudden cold spots, adding to the lighthouse's eerie mystique. Today, the St. Augustine Lighthouse and Maritime Museum offers ghost tours where visitors can explore the site and experience its chilling atmosphere, hoping for a glimpse of the supernatural. Whether you're a believer or a skeptic, the lighthouse stands as a fascinating testament to both history and legend, inviting all who visit to uncover its mysteries. San Fernando Cathedral in San Antonio, Texas, is known for its historic beauty and its reputation for being haunted. The cathedral, built in the 18th century, stands as one of the oldest cathedrals in the United States, with a rich history that includes tales of the supernatural. One of the most famous stories of the haunting revolves around the figure of a spectral monk. It is said that late at night, when the cathedral is empty, a mysterious shadowy figure can be seen walking down the aisles dressed in the robes of a monk. Witnesses have reported feeling a sudden chill in the air as they catch a glimpse of the apparition, who is believed to be a ghost from the cathedral's early days. Some say the monk was buried within the church walls and continues to watch over the sacred grounds. Visitors have also reported hearing unexplained sounds, such as footsteps echoing through the empty halls and whispered prayers from invisible lips. The cathedral's bells are known to ring on their own, adding to the eerie atmosphere. Another chilling tale tells of ghostly apparitions appearing in photographs taken by tourists, often showing shadowy figures standing beside them when no one was present. The most unsettling account involves the spirits of the soldiers who fought and died in the nearby battles of the Alamo. Some believe that their restless souls have found their way to the cathedral, seeking solace or redemption. There have been reports of ghostly figures in military attire wandering the grounds, their faces etched with expressions of sorrow. Despite its haunted reputation, San Fernando Cathedral remains a place of worship and community, its rich history drawing both the faithful and the curious. Whether one believes in ghosts or not, the cathedral's stories add a layer of mystery and intrigue to this historic landmark, making it a must-visit for those interested in the paranormal. While the stories may send a shiver down your spine, they also serve as a reminder of the many lives and events that have shaped this remarkable place. In the dense forests of South Carolina lies the Pointset Bridge, a beautiful yet eerie structure that has stood since 1820. This bridge, known as the oldest in the state, carries a haunting tale that has sent shivers down the spines of many who dare to visit after dark. The legend tells of a tragic accident that occurred during the bridge's construction. A worker, whose name has long been forgotten, met his untimely death when a heavy stone fell upon him, trapping his spirit beneath the ancient stones. Since that day, locals and visitors alike have reported chilling encounters at the bridge. On misty nights, when the moon hangs low and the air is thick with fog, it's said that you can hear the ghostly moans of the lost worker. Some have even claimed to see a shadowy figure moving beneath the bridge, as if eternally laboring on his unfinished task. The air grows cold, and an inexplicable feeling of dread washes over those who dare to cross. One particularly chilling account comes from a group of friends who visited the bridge one autumn evening. As they approached, their car suddenly stalled, and the air became frigid. The radio began to emit static, interrupted by faint whispers they couldn't quite decipher. The bravest among them stepped out, flashlight in hand, only to see a translucent figure standing at the entrance of the bridge. Terrified, they fled the scene, swearing never to return. Despite its beauty and historical significance, the Pointset Bridge remains a place shrouded in mystery and fear. Whether you believe the stories or dismiss them as mere folklore, one thing is certain. The bridge holds secrets of the past, echoing through time and chilling the hearts of those who dare to visit. The Dock Street Theater in Charleston, South Carolina, is famous not only for its stunning architecture and vibrant performances, but also for the eerie tales of ghostly apparitions that haunt its halls. Built in 1736, the Dock Street Theater was the first building in America designed exclusively for theatrical performances. It has a rich history, having survived fires, earthquakes, and multiple renovations. But amidst this rich tapestry of history, one ghostly tale stands out: the spirit of Nettie Dickerson. Nettie Dickerson was a young woman who lived in Charleston in the 19th century. Aspiring to be a lady of high society, she often dressed in her finest red gown and attended the theater, hoping to catch the eye of wealthy patrons. Tragically, her dreams were never realized, and she met an untimely end, struck by lightning on the balcony of the Planters Hotel, which later became part of the Dock Street Theater. Legend has it that Nettie's spirit never left. Visitors and staff have reported seeing a spectral figure dressed in a glowing red gown roaming the second-floor balcony. Her presence is often accompanied by a sudden chill in the air and the faint scent of jasmine, her favorite flower. On quiet nights when the theater is empty, the sound of her footsteps can be heard echoing through the corridors. Some have even claimed to hear her soft voice singing a melancholic tune, as if lamenting her unfulfilled dreams. Despite the eerie encounters, many believe Nettie means no harm. She simply lingers in a place that held the promise of a life she never had. To this day, The Dock Street Theater remains a captivating blend of history and mystery, where the past and present intertwine, and the spirit of Nettie Dickerson adds an enigmatic charm to its storied halls. Nestled in the heart of Savannah, Georgia, the Moon River Brewery is known not only for its craft beers but also for its haunted past. The building, constructed in 1821, originally served as the City Hotel, a popular establishment for travelers and townsfolk alike. However, beneath its bustling exterior lay a dark history that many say still lingers within its walls. One of the most famous tales involves James Stark, a man known for his fiery temper and disdain for the locals. In 1832, Stark found himself in a heated argument with Dr. Philip Minnies, a respected physician. The feud culminated in a deadly confrontation at the hotel, where Dr. Minnies shot Stark in self-defense. Since that fateful night, patrons and employees have reported encountering Stark's restless spirit, often described as a shadowy figure roaming the upper floors. Some have even heard his footsteps echoing through the halls when no one else is around. Another eerie legend centers around the basement, which served as a makeshift hospital during Savannah's many yellow fever outbreaks. Countless victims of the disease were treated there, and it is said that their spirits have never left. Employees have reported being pushed by unseen forces and feeling cold spots in certain areas, leading many to avoid the basement altogether. Perhaps the most unsettling experience belongs to a former bartender who, while closing up one night, witnessed a bottle inexplicably lift off the shelf and smash to the floor. Startled, she looked around, only to find herself alone in the dimly lit room. Visitors to the Moon River Brewery often leave with tales of their own encounters, making it a favorite destination for both beer enthusiasts and ghost hunters. Whether you believe in the supernatural or not, there's no denying that the Moon River Brewery holds an air of mystery and intrigue, inviting all who enter to experience a piece of Savannah's haunted history. In the heart of Tonopah, Nevada, stands the historic Mispah Hotel, a grand establishment built in 1907. Once the tallest building in the state, its 5 stories housed miners, travelers, and, as legend has it, a few lingering spirits. The most famous ghost of the Mispah Hotel is known as the Lady in Red. According to local lore, she was a beautiful woman in the 1920s who often visited the hotel. Some say she was a lady of the evening, while others believe she was simply a glamorous socialite. Her life was tragically cut short when she was murdered on the 5th floor by a jealous lover. Guests and staff have reported numerous encounters with the Lady in Red. She is often seen roaming the halls in a flowing red gown, leaving behind a faint scent of roses. Some have felt a gentle tap on their shoulders, only to turn and find no one there. Others have experienced mysterious whispers and the unexplained movement of objects. One chilling tale involves a couple staying on the 5th floor. In the middle of the night, they were awakened by the sound of soft, feminine laughter. When they switched on the lights, they found a red rose on their nightstand, a gift from the spectral lady. The elevator has also been known to act strangely, stopping on the 5th floor, even when no button was pressed. It's as if the Lady in Red still waits for her final farewell, reliving her last moments in the corridors of the Mispah. Though some might find these stories frightening, many guests leave with a sense of awe, having experienced a brush with the paranormal. The Mispah Hotel continues to embrace its haunted history, inviting visitors to stay a night and perhaps catch a glimpse of its most famous resident. Whether skeptic or believer, those who visit often leave with their own tale to tell, adding to the legend of the haunted Mispah Hotel. Nestled in the dense forests of St. Francisville, Louisiana, Myrtles Plantation stands as a grand testament to the antebellum South. However, beneath its charming facade lies a chilling legend that has haunted its halls for centuries. The story begins in the late 18th century when the plantation was owned by General David Bradford. According to legend, a slave named Chloe worked in the mansion, serving the family. Chloe was fearful of losing her position and took to eavesdropping on the family's conversations. One day she was caught by the master and, as punishment, her ear was cut off. To hide her scar, Chloe wore a green turban from that day forward. Desperate to regain favor, Chloe devised a plan to poison the family with oleander leaves, intending to heal them later and appear as their savior. Tragically, the plan went awry, leading to the deaths of Sarah Matilda, the master's wife, and 2 of their children. Chloe, fearing retribution from the other slaves, was hanged and thrown into the Mississippi River. Since that fateful day, Chloe's spirit is said to roam the plantation. Her ghost, often seen in her signature green turban, appears in photographs and occasionally confronts guests. Visitors report eerie footsteps echoing in empty corridors and the sounds of children laughing and crying late at night. One chilling tale involves the Mirror of the Myrtles. According to custom, mirrors are covered when someone dies to prevent the soul from becoming trapped. However, in the case of Sarah and her children, a mirror was left uncovered. Today, the mirror bears the impressions of handprints and mysterious smudges that cannot be wiped away, believed to be the souls of those lost in Chloe's tragic plot. Myrtles Plantation remains one of America's most haunted homes, drawing countless visitors eager to experience its eerie beauty and perhaps catch a glimpse of its restless spirits. Whether fact or folklore, the legend of Chloe and the haunted plantation continues to captivate and terrify those who dare to explore its haunted halls. In the heart of Philadelphia stands a grim fortress known as Eastern State Penitentiary, a place that once housed some of America's most notorious criminals, including Al Capone. Its imposing stone walls and dark corridors tell tales of despair, punishment, and, some say, restless spirits. The prison opened its doors in 1829, designed with a revolutionary new system of incarceration aimed at reforming prisoners through isolation and reflection. However, the harsh solitary confinement took a toll on inmates' sanity, and the once intended reformative experience quickly turned into a living nightmare. As the years went by, the penitentiary became a hotbed of unrest, both among its prisoners and the spirits believed to linger long after its closure in 1971. One of the most famous ghostly legends of Eastern State involves the story of the locksmith. In the 1990s, a restoration crew was tasked with opening cell blocks that had been sealed for decades. A locksmith working to remove a 140-year-old lock found himself in a chilling encounter. As he dismantled the lock, he claimed to have experienced a strange, otherworldly sensation, as if the air around him grew heavier. Suddenly, he was overwhelmed by visions of distorted faces appearing on the walls, their mouths open in silent screams. Many believed that these were the tortured souls of inmates, trapped in a prison of both stone and time. Visitors often report hearing eerie whispers echoing through the cell blocks, and some even claim to have seen shadowy figures flitting between the cells. The most haunted spot is said to be cell block 12, where disembodied voices and cackling laughter can be heard in the dead of night. Today, Eastern State Penitentiary stands as a haunting reminder of the past. It is a popular destination for those seeking a glimpse into history, or perhaps a brush with the supernatural. Those who dare to visit are often left wondering if the spirits of Eastern State have finally found peace, or if they remain, forever bound to their dark past. The night was eerily quiet at Gettysburg Battlefield, a place steeped in history and the whispers of those who once fought there. As the moonlight bathed the fields, an otherworldly chill settled over the land, stirring the tales of hauntings that have long surrounded this hallowed ground. One of the most famous stories is that of the phantom soldiers, who are said to appear in the early hours of the morning. As the mist rolls over the fields, visitors have reported seeing ghostly figures marching in formation, their uniforms tattered and worn. Witnesses claim that the soldiers are locked in a perpetual loop, reliving their final moments before the bloody Battle of Gettysburg claimed their lives. There is also the legend of Devil's Den, a rocky outcrop that saw intense fighting during the battle. Many have felt a strange presence there, and some have captured inexplicable photos featuring the spirit of a soldier with long hair and bare feet, thought to be a Texan soldier who met his end in that very spot. Visitors often feel an unsettling sense of being watched, and electronic devices mysteriously malfunction in the area. The Gettysburg Hotel, once used as a hospital during the battle, is said to be haunted by the spirits of those who never left. Guests have reported hearing disembodied footsteps and the cries of wounded soldiers echoing through the halls. The apparition of a nurse known as the Blue Lady is often seen tending to the spectral soldiers, her presence bringing an odd sense of comfort to the otherwise chilling encounters. Each of these stories adds to the rich tapestry of ghostly lore surrounding Gettysburg, where the echoes of the past continue to reverberate. The battlefield remains a solemn reminder of the lives lost, with its spirits forever bound to the land where they fought so valiantly. As the night deepens, the veil between the living and the dead seems to thin, leaving those who dare to visit with a haunting sense of history and the supernatural. The Calcasieu Courthouse, located in Lake Charles, Louisiana, is a building steeped in history and known for its eerie tales of haunting. The most famous story involves the ghost of Toni Jo Henry, the first woman to be executed in Louisiana's electric chair. In the early 1940s, Toni Jo Henry was a beautiful yet troubled woman who fell in love with a man named Claude Cowboy Henry. After Cowboy was imprisoned for murder, Toni Jo devised a plan to free him. Along with an accomplice, she hatched a plot that led to the brutal murder of a man named Joseph Calloway. Her crime resulted in her arrest and trial at the Calcasieu Courthouse. During her trial, Toni Jo became infamous for her charisma and cold demeanor, captivating the courtroom with her dark charm. Despite her efforts to manipulate the jury, she was found guilty and sentenced to death. On November 28, 1942, she met her fate in the electric chair, becoming the first and only woman to be executed in Louisiana by this method. It is said that Toni Jo's spirit never left the courthouse. Over the years, many people have reported strange occurrences in the building. Staff and visitors have claimed to hear disembodied footsteps echoing through the hallways and to witness mysterious cold spots. Some have even seen a ghostly apparition resembling a young woman with long hair, believed to be Toni Jo herself. One particularly chilling encounter involved a night guard who was making his rounds. As he walked past the courtroom where Toni Jo was tried, he heard a woman softly singing. Thinking it was someone who had accidentally stayed behind, he entered the room only to find it empty. The singing abruptly stopped, leaving him in unsettling silence. Today, the Calcasieu Courthouse stands as a reminder of its grim past. While the ghost of Toni Jo Henry may not be a constant presence, her story continues to haunt the minds of those who visit. A spectral echo of justice served and a life cut short, her legend lingers on, adding a layer of mystery and intrigue to the historic courthouse. The RMS Queen Mary, an opulent ocean liner, began her maiden voyage in 1936. She was a symbol of luxury and power, crossing the Atlantic with the world's rich and famous aboard. However, her history took a darker turn during World War II, when she was repurposed as a troop ship known as the Grey Ghost. During her wartime service, the Queen Mary accidentally collided with a smaller vessel, the HMS Curacoa, slicing it in half and resulting in the tragic deaths of over 300 men. This incident is believed to have left a mark on the ship, infusing it with an eerie aura that persists to this day. After the war, she returned to her original role as a passenger liner, only to be retired in the 1960s. She found a new home in Long Beach, California, where she now serves as a floating hotel and museum. But guests and employees have reported inexplicable occurrences, fueling her reputation as one of the most haunted places in America. One of the most famous spirits is Jackie, a little girl who supposedly drowned in the ship's pool. Visitors often hear her laughter echoing in the empty swimming pool area, and some claim to have seen wet footprints mysteriously appear on the dry deck. Then there's John Henry, a crew member who met a grisly end in the engine room. People report hearing his footsteps and feeling cold drafts in the otherwise stifling heat of the ship's bowels. Cabin B340 is particularly notorious, with guests frequently reporting poltergeist activity. Lights flicker on and off, covers are pulled off beds, and eerie whispers invade the silence of the night. The room became so infamous that the hotel stopped renting it out for several years. Despite her chilling tales, the Queen Mary continues to draw curious visitors eager to experience the paranormal for themselves. Whether it's the creaking of her decks, the echo of footsteps in deserted hallways, or the unsettling feeling of being watched, the RMS Queen Mary remains an enduring enigma, blending her glamorous past with the mysteries of the unknown. The Hotel Monte Vista, nestled in the heart of Flagstaff, Arizona, is a historic establishment known not only for its charming vintage architecture, but also for its long-standing reputation as a haunted hotel. Built in 1927, this iconic hotel has welcomed many famous guests, including movie stars and celebrities. But it is the ghostly residents that continue to captivate visitors and staff alike. One of the most famous stories is that of Room 305, believed to be haunted by the spirit of an elderly woman. Guests have reported seeing her rocking chair moving by itself, often accompanied by a cold, unsettling presence. Some even claim to have seen her ghostly figure sitting in the chair, gazing out the window as if waiting for someone. Her apparition is so frequent that staff keep the chair in storage to avoid unsettling guests. Another chilling tale is that of the phantom bellboy. Many guests have reported hearing a knock at their door, only to open it and find no one there. Others have seen a young man in a bellboy uniform standing outside their rooms, who vanishes as soon as they open the door. This spirit is believed to be a former employee who loved his job so much that he continues to serve guests from beyond the grave. Room 220 is home to another ghostly figure, believed to be a bank robber who met his end in the hotel. According to legend, he was shot during a robbery and staggered into the hotel where he bled to death. Guests staying in room 220 have reported strange noises, feeling a heavy presence, and even waking up to the sight of a man standing at the foot of their bed, silently watching them. These are just a few of the many ghost stories that circulate about the Hotel Monte Vista. Each tale adds to the allure and mystery of the hotel, making it a must-visit destination for those interested in the paranormal. Whether you are a skeptic or a believer, one thing is certain: a night at the Hotel Monte Vista is an experience you won't soon forget. In the small town of Valisa, Iowa, stands a seemingly ordinary White House with a chilling past. Known as the Valisa Axe Murder House, it was the site of a gruesome crime that remains unsolved to this day. The story begins on a quiet June night in 1912 when the Moore family returned home after attending a church event. Little did they know, a sinister presence awaited them. As the family settled in for the night, an unknown intruder silently crept through the house. Armed with an axe, the assailant brutally murdered Josiah and Sarah Moore, their 4 children, and 2 young guests who were staying overnight. The horrific crime shocked the community and left a haunting mark on the town. Since that fateful night, the house has gained a reputation for being haunted. Visitors and paranormal investigators have reported chilling experiences: mysterious footsteps, disembodied voices, and doors that open and close on their own. Some claim to feel an oppressive presence or see shadowy figures moving through the rooms. Theories about the killer's identity abound, but the case remains a mystery. Despite extensive investigations, no one was ever charged with the crime. Over a century later, the Valisa Axe Murder House continues to captivate those drawn to its dark history, serving as a reminder of the unsolved mystery and the spirits that may still linger within its walls. Many who visit the house speak of an overwhelming feeling of sadness and fear. Some say they hear children's laughter or catch glimpses of figures standing in the shadows. The house's eerie atmosphere and tragic history make it a popular destination for ghost hunters and thrill seekers hoping to encounter the supernatural. The Valisa Axe Murder House stands as a testament to a chilling past, forever haunted by the memory of the innocent lives lost and the mystery that shrouds their untimely demise. In the small town of Weston, West Virginia, the TransAlgan Lunatic Asylum stands as a looming, Gothic reminder of a dark past. Built in the mid-1800s, this asylum was designed to house 250 patients, but at its peak, it held over 2,400 individuals, many of whom were subjected to cruel and inhumane treatments. One chilling tale from the asylum is that of Lily, a little girl who is said to still haunt the halls. Lily was admitted at a very young age after her mother was committed and had no one to care for her. Sadly, Lily grew up within the asylum's walls, living a life of loneliness and fear. After she died, it is believed that her spirit never left. Visitors often report hearing the sound of a bouncing ball in the halls, followed by the giggles of a young child. Some have even claimed to see the apparition of a little girl dressed in a white dress, holding a toy doll. When visitors enter the room believed to have been Lily's, the temperature drops significantly, and the air becomes thick with an unexplainable sense of sadness. Another infamous story involves the violent spirit of a patient known as Big Jim. Jim was a physically imposing man with a history of aggression. He died under mysterious circumstances during a riot, and his presence is still felt in the asylum's shadowy corners. Paranormal investigators and visitors have reported feeling an overwhelming sense of anger in certain areas, and some have been pushed or scratched by an unseen force. The TransAlgan Lunatic Asylum continues to draw paranormal enthusiasts from all over the world, eager to experience the eerie atmosphere and encounter the spirits that are said to still roam its decaying halls. Despite its sinister reputation, the asylum stands as a historical monument, offering a haunting glimpse into the past and the lives that were forever altered within its walls. Whether you believe in ghosts or not, the stories of the TransAlgan Asylum serve as a reminder of the importance of compassion and humanity, even in the darkest of places.